All right, America. I promised y'all that I was gonna bring my brothers, Racist Leo and Tim G. Jacob, back this week. For this particular question. I want to know who they think is the GOAT father son duo in Major League Baseball. I was thinking about this question all year long because you had Vlad Guerrero Jr. out there doing his thing, cutting up for real. You got Fernando Tatis' son out here doing his doing his thing. So it got me thinking about other father son duos throughout the years that have been very successful at what they do.
Right.
And being that my brothers are coming off of a World Series victory with their Atlanta Braves,
Yes,
I
sir.
I don't think they
Yes,
have
indeed.
any quarrel with talking a little more baseball.
Oh, all the time.
So,
All the time.
T, I'm gonna start with you. Who you got as the GOAT father son duo in Major League Baseball history, or at least the history that we know of?
Sure.
The history of the sons that we know of, but we don't know a whole lot about the daddies.
Okay.
For if you want to talk Griffey, you want to talk Bonds. I'm kind of torn. Uh, Ken Griffey Sr. had 3 All-Stars, 2 World Series, and an All-Star MVP. Very, very respectable. Bobby Bonds had an All-Star MVP, 3 Gold Gloves, so he was nice with the glove, and 3-time All-Star. I don't really like to just get into. I mean, I ain't got to talk about Barry. We know what Barry was to the game. We know what Ken Griffey was to the game. But for me, I gotta say Ken Griffey, man, and Ken Griffey Sr. Because they even played together, right? Like
Yeah,
they
they
even
did. They did
played,
play
they
together.
even
Yeah.
played together, So that's even special. That's the stuff that LeBron and Bronny talk about.
That's what they
Hmm.
hoping for.
So, but Ken Griffey, man, it's so tough to compare him to Barry. But Griffey on a nightly basis in his prime was something. It was just something special. I remember a summer. I can't remember what summer. I can't remember if it was 94 or 95. I can't remember. But there was a point in which Griffey was launching them every day. That to the point to where ESPN would have to like when Griffey was batting, they had to like pull up and be like, this dude could crank another one. Like they just stopped whatever game they were showing and just show the at bat because Griffey was just going that dumb.
Mhm.
I mean, great bat, legendary center fielder,
Hmm.
legendary center fielder. I don't even want to talk about the accolades. If you youngins out there want to find out about King Griffey Jr., go look him up. There ain't nobody. They ain't nothing better to watch than watching a guy with that kind of bat speed, that kind of power, and he wasn't a big bulky dude. He was a pretty average build guy in a sense. But when you talk about that sweet swing and that bat speed, baby, he's the reason why I bat left-handed. When I play, when I play, if I hit a baseball, I bat left-handed. Now it could be because in my family I have a lot of left-handers. My grandparents and my dad, there was like a lineage of lefties before it got to me. And then if you want to let my dad tell it, my mama put the pencil in my right hand and the spoon in my right hand, so she messed that all up. But that's another story. But I bat left. And King Griffey was a really an inspiration as to why I like to bat left. So if I want to talk GOAT, I got to give it to those two. I just really do. And I think a lot of that is heavily based upon King Griffey Jr. The
Okay.
dude was just great, man.
Okay. Caesar,
Yes, sir.
who you
Um,
got, dog?
he is right. Ken Griffey Jr. is one of the greatest players to ever bless a baseball diamond. And in an era where he came up, where all of his folks were critiqued and criticized or found guilty of doing performance-enhancing drugs, Ken was clean. The kid was clean. Just natural God-given ability. T didn't want to harp on the stats, but I will, because I think in an era where some guys' numbers are inflated because of what we saw, Ken Jr.'s numbers need to be highlighted, man. He's a Hall of Famer, obviously. 13-time All-Star. He's an MVP. He's an All-Star MVP. 7-time Silver Slugger. So we talked about the bat, but the kid was also one of the greatest defenders that goes unnoticed. We talk about all these great outfielders defensively, but he's a 10-time Gold Glover at center field, man.
He will rob you.
This dude is I mean, like, for real, the real deal, right? 630 home runs. 500 lets you know you're a Hall of Famer. We're talking about 630, when on the tail end of his career, he was suffering from injury every year. So this shows you the work he put in on the front end. Oh, by the way, he had 184 stolen bases. So 5'2" player, could do everything, and he brought the swag to the sport for people that look like us, right? For our generation, he was the guy that, rocked the backwards hat, made that cool in the home run derby. I got to give him his flowers, but I'm not going to say that he's a part of the greatest father-son duo. I just had to give him his props because he's Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Sr.'s numbers, I'm going to compare him to the father, but he shouldn't be. He really should be flip-flopped, and Ken should be compared to the father I'm about to speak of when it comes to the son, because the son is still playing. Vlad Guerrero Sr. and Jr. For people who may not remember Vlad Sr., take a look at Vlad Jr., because Vlad's still playing, right? And he's got all the tools. He's got everything that you want. Take that, and when you talk about raw power and the ability to hit just about any pitch, Vlad Guerrero Sr., the only reason he doesn't get the props that he deserves is because he played for the Montreal Expos. Okay. And nobody watched the Montreal Expos because they were just a bad team. But they had one great player. Right. And it was Vlad Guerrero Sr. Let me give you Vlad.
Don't forget Pedro Martinez now.
And Pedro. I'm just talking about from the everyday play. Oh no, Pedro's one of the
Pedro
greatest.
Pedro and that Jerry Curl now. That Jerry Curl Pedro back then.
Pedro's one of the greatest pitchers and one of the most clutch performers in baseball history. So we got to give him his props. I'm just saying from an everyday player standpoint.
Okay, I got you.
Vlad Guerrero Sr. Let me give you Vlad's numbers so you can just kind of keep it in perspective of what he did during his years. All right. 449 homers, 181 stolen bases. If I just hyped up Ken Griffey's stolen bases, Vlad Guerrero, who's not even known as a base stealer, by the way, did the same thing. Slugger percentage of 553. OPS of 931. This is lifetime stuff, man. His career batting average is 318. His career batting average is 318. Ken Griffey Jr.'s career batting average is 284.
Oh, Vlad Senior went 318 without swinging at all them bad pitches.
Swinging at all those bad pitches, he found some kind of way to finish as a 300 hitter. 318 to be exact.
Cork bat.
Man, I'm telling you. And by the way, had one of the strongest arms from the outfield.
He did have that
you will ever see. 8-time Silver Slugger, 9-time All-Star. He got.
Why was he not a Gold Glover then? That's the thing that gets me.
Personally, I would say his fielding left something to be desired. If you watched him, personally, when I watched Vlad Senior, it seems like sometimes he wasn't dialed in, if that makes sense. So sometimes you go watch Vlad Senior, you be like, man, this dude don't even care. He's swinging at breaking balls and pitches that are way out of the strike zone. It just seemed like he wasn't dialed in. Mm-hmm. But then you would see him in that same series, mainly against the Braves, because that's who I rooted for and watched heavily. Same pitches, holding off of them. But the ones that you made a mistake on, they were in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. The same guy that you would say, man, this dude shouldn't even be playing out there. He should be playing like first base, would catch one off the wall or watch one bounce off the wall and throw a rope from the wall to home plate.
He did.
And then you bring in his son. And here's why I say this is the best duo, because you bring in his son, and out of all the duos you could think of between the Bonds family, the Griffey family, the Tatis family. These guys, I think when Vlad Jr. is done, he's going to have similar numbers as his father. Well, if he has a Hall of Fame career with those type of numbers beat out the fathers of the guys that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If Vlad Jr. has a better career than Vlad Sr., which we all figure he will,
You should.
he should. Well, man, that's the greatest duo. That's the greatest duo because Vlad Jr.'s career is already doing this right here. For his 2021 season, he's 311. His career is 289. But this guy is en route to have a 300 hitting career. He's going to have an OPS above 900 and an on-base percentage above 360, 370. Man, that's a Hall of Fame career. Those are Hall of Fame numbers. He may not have the stolen bases like the Griffeys or like his dad did.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, this guy is going to go down as one of the great hitters. And if he can just show up his defense a little bit, well, man, that's enough to be a multiple MVP candidate year in and year out. That means you're one of the greats of all time. So for my money, the Guerreros, on a sleeper pick, I guess you would say, the greatest father-son duo
Right.
in MLB history.
Right.
Okay. Very intriguing for my brothers. Very intriguing. And they are riding high right now as World Series champions.
Come on, man.
So I got to give them that. But
Where
I
Fred
got to
McGriff-
tell them that
where
they
Fred
are
McGriff
wrong.
Jr. Where's Fred McGriff Jr. So I can put him in the conversation.
No, he not on there right now.
He's not.
And I don't know if Halle Berry and Dave Justice had any kids. They might be trying to play some ball somewhere one
What
day.
Terry Pendleton Jr.
I don't know. But the correct answer, gentlemen, y'all are doing him wrong right now, like the Hall of Fame voters are doing.
Yeah.
The correct answer is Barry and Bobby Bonds, man.
Head Bonds.
Yes. Yes. This main daddy got himself 3 gold gloves.
Yep.
So you add that to his son, 8 gold gloves. That's 11 gold gloves at their household. Okay.
That's
the
fact.
son got 7 MVPs. Okay.
Yeah.
That boy got
Yeah.
Oh God. That boy got 7 MVPs. All right. The Pops got 1,886 hits. Okay, so he was almost at 3,000. I mean 2,000. Excuse
2,000.
me.
Yep.
Barry was almost at 3,000 with 2,935. Of course, Barry got 762 homers. The Pops got over 300 homers. They got 1,000 home runs in the household. Now, the elephant in the room is
this is what I needed right there. That's all I needed.
I ain't going to ignore it.
I'm
not going to ignore it. Okay? Not going to ignore it. I will say this. Barry told me that he never failed a test.
That's right.
Barry told me. When Barry was getting all these allegations, Barry told his son, let's go home.
He sure did.
Let's go home. Because these folks up here just talking about stuff that ain't even proven up here. So I don't know. I do know there are some pitchers on that list, that Balco list as well. So if he was juicing, he was facing guys that were juicing. They saying that the pitchers were doing it more than the hitters. I don't know. Okay. All I know is what these Noombres say.
Yeah.
And these Noombres saying that Papa Bonds and Junior Bonds over here. Come on, man. 8-time gold glove for Barry, 12-time silver slugger. The man won 2 batting titles. Okay. 14 All-Star, while your dad is sitting over here with these numbers. His dad had 461 stolen bases.
Yeah.
And you know he wasn't juicing back then. All they had was some tobacco to chew and stuff like that. And heroin, he probably wasn't messing with that.
Let's put this on record too. Because I want my baseball fans to understand this. Just because I didn't mention Barry Bonds or T didn't, I don't know how T feels about it, but I'll tell you this. With or without performance-enhancing drugs, Barry Bonds is one, if not the greatest baseball player of all time. He didn't need it. I don't know if he truly did it or not. I believe he did. But whether he did it or not, Barry Bonds, those numbers that he has, he might be short 50, 60 home runs based on the longevity of his career, but 660 still ain't bad. Okay. I think his silver slugging awards and his gold glove awards, he was doing that before he went from, being 180 to 230.
real thin, a 40-40 guy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
He's
so
a
he was
40
doing
40
that.
guy.
He was doing that
Whole
anyway.
40-40 club.
Yeah,
Everybody,
he was.
he the one that really
Yeah,
made that popular.
he was doing that anyway. So this, it's not so much an indictment on Barry Bonds, because the media did a great job of burying him once they felt like, he was a part of that group. Well, like I said, the only person who is not linked back to that's a legend is Ken Griffey Jr. in that era. You can't find a single story really that says Ken Griffey Jr. was juicing like the rest of them.
And for the record, that's my favorite baseball player from my childhood, King Griffey Jr.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
For the record,
yeah,
that's my guy. Okay,
he's the guy.
But for this argument, I'm just trying to be thorough with it, because I wanted to pick. Look at him. I wanted to go with Griffin and them because I love, like, when I was so lonely as a child. When I would go outside and I had a little plastic bat and the little plastic ball and stuff. I would throw the ball up in the air and hit from the right hand, and I'd be like Mark McGuire or Jeff Bagwell or something.
Yeah.
But then I'd throw it up and I'd be left hand and I'd be Ken Griffey Jr. and Barry Bonds. You know what I'm saying? But Ken, Ken gonna stand upright. He gonna have that little swag with it, the hat turning in the home run derby, and that thing gone. Sweet swing. You know what I'm talking about? Sweet swing. I need to go buy me some Ken Griffey's. But when I put that pops in there with it,
yeah,
I ain't even tripping.
Look at him. But now I will say this. Caesar Leo really got me wanting to tune in to the young Vlad. This young Vlad.
The young Vlad's good. He's very talented. Very talented. He's very good.
Oh yeah, it sounds like he cutting up.
He's gonna be that, and he's gonna be that way for another decade. And like I said, what he's lacking right now is the defense for you to say that he's on that same caliber with a Mike Trout, right? Or with a, in my opinion, a Ronald Acuna Jr. He's just not a 5-tool player.
No.
But if he gets any semblance of some defense,
what about the Tatis kid?
He's a real deal.
Oh, he's amazing.
I'm talking about, but defensively, he got something.
Oh no, he's the real deal.
He's got it.
He's the real.
Oh, he's got it on the field.
He's so special, Wells, that he can play shortstop, third base, and center field. That's rare.
What?
That's rare. When he suffered an injury earlier this season, and they took him from the infield, which is where he's been since we've known him, and put him in the outfield, and he was still one of the best outfielders in the game.
He just got it, man.
That's just God given. You know what I mean? Like, nobody taught him how to go out there and do that. He just did it. Fernando Tatis Jr. is a premier baseball player.
Yeah. Sound like y'all got him over Vlad Jr.
I do. His dad's resume just doesn't hold up to the other fathers. You know what I mean? But tit for tat, no, Fernando Tatis Jr. to me is one of the top 3 players in baseball today and tomorrow.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that, but he might be 3 right now because he seems to have a little bit of a health thing going on.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I would maybe make him 3. My guy's Acuna, and I know he's been injured too, but Acuna's my guy. He's as electric as he gets.
Offensively and
defensively, he's as electric as he gets. And he just plays with that exuberance, that youthful exuberance that's just, you just can't find that in a lot of guys. And baseball right now is in a really good place.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope it grows for the simple fact, they just got it across all boards right now.
But you do think it's in a good place because our competitors in major sports media don't live like the shows that like ours in major sports media. They don't even cover them.
I don't even think they want to really just acknowledge that it's not the same baseball because you got a lot of old heads. It's not the same baseball that it was like in the 90s. It's just not the same ball. I mean, Tatis really makes people upset when he rounds third and he does that little step back and then keeps trotting. Like, there's people that don't like that as purists. But I love it. I mean, I think it's just letting these guys be them. And I think what baseball will find is that broadens the horizon. That's there are people that will look at these guys and go, "Oh, snap, these dude got some swag about them." Because it's all about the juice. It's all about the swag. So you gotta let these guys be them. You know, you can't keep that in a box. So I think it's great.
It is great. It is great, man. The game changes. You're able to have somebody like Vlad Jr. to come in, and yes, he was able to get a look because he was Vladimir Guerrero Sr.'s son, sure. But when he shows up, the game speaks for himself. You know what I mean? The game speaks for itself. And now you have an entire new generation who looks at Vlad Jr. as the guy, not Vlad Sr. They're looking, that's just his dad.
Hey, look, here's a dark horse. Wander Franco. He's another one. Wander Franco from the Tampa Bay Rays. Man, that dude right there, that's Julio Franco's son, right? Give him a whole year. I think they moved him up. They moved him up this past year. But man, give him a whole season.
Well, shout out to the Fielder family as well. I didn't want to leave them. I just want to at least mention them.
Cecil and Prince, no doubt.
But that's crazy how your kid is a slugger like you, body type. You know, I guess that's what you expect. That's your kid. But just to see it was like, dang, this dude is his daddy for real.
Yes, you need.
Cecil couldn't deny him.
No, not at all. He did not need Maury at all.
No,
for that one, because that was extraordinary. But America, y'all chime in and tell us who y'all got as your GOAT father-son duo in Major League Baseball history.
It's the kid.
Put it on something.
Kid.
My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me across all social media platforms, like the videos, and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit StatementTeesLLC.com and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
makes a statement.